Chosen's muted.
The AlbionTV War Report, your source of live battle coverage featuring the top guilds and alliances of Albion Online. Today is Thursday, the 16th of October, 2025. I am your host, the Chosen One, and I am joined today by Robin Hood, RS, on the play-by-play, and of course, Bogle behind the scenes on the camera. We are currently spectating Albion Asia here at 14 UTC on a 15-minute delay, so if you guys have reports of live action out there in the real world, please contact us through Discord. It is the fastest, most efficient tool we have for getting your info. Now, Robin, we could really use some info today because it seems like nobody's showing up to fight.
Yeah, it's I just hopped through all the territory launches that we have listed here actually. There's attackers. There's 0 people defending though. On all of them, and that's, territory launches spread out across the world here. So yeah,
Wow,
not sure.
that's not a good sign.
Not a good sign indeed. We were hoping for a little bit of action with Hot Alliance and Idle Alliance. Scripsies was masked. Maverick is also masked, but Maverick didn't go with his Alliance members today. Maverick right now is actually attempting to raid, or is raiding, the Karma territory that was launched on yesterday. We watched that battle unfold. They got launched on by the Z Alliance and also CCTV. Karma is obviously, as you can see by those players standing naked on our northwestern side of our screen, not here to defend. Flying Dutchman was probably thinking that they're going to get action here because Z and Jin launched onto the territory. Nobody's showing up on this front. So Flying Dutchman not able to go help their Alliance members, that is getting a launch onto Sunkerborough Spring. That would be Western Paradise. And here we are. A whole lot of nothing.
Yep. Yeah, we're seeing that occasionally, Robin. Over here on Albion Asia, we do get an occasional day of out of nothing.
Whole lot of none.
I don't know what we're going to do about this one today, Robin. We do have some stuff to talk about. We might end up doing a little bit of that.
Yeah, obviously we did have a brand new dev talk. First of many, hopefully, to come. Before we get our hands on the new update next month. But we're gonna get our hands on the update sooner than that. Not on the live server.
No, but on the test server. Yeah, tomorrow we will be on the test server at about 15 UTC. We're going to be there for the 15 UTC test on Albion Europe test server, where they will be testing faction warfare out for all of you lovely people. And you can join us if you'd like. It is an open test. There is a competition going on, sponsored by Sandbox Interactive, where you can win free gold by competing in the event. And there's a random chance to win as well if you fill out a survey. So you don't have to be the best player, just have to be a lucky player.
Yeah, and provide feedback by the form. And just to let everybody know, it's going to be on the Europe test server, but that doesn't mean, if you're playing on Asia, if you're playing on the Americas server, that doesn't mean that you cannot partake. It just means that you're going to be on a little bit higher ping. Doesn't matter if you don't have an account as well on the Europe server. You're going to be able to, click the pillar, get max spec, click on the crafting station and craft whatever gear you want. That's going to be available to you guys. So don't worry about that if you want to get involved, but you don't have an account on the Europe server. No need to panic. All information can be found via the form link that Bogle will drop in chat for you guys. We'll actually pin it to the top of the chat. Because we're on a 15-minute delay, this is going to be a little bit awkward. But it is the big thing that's happening tomorrow. summary of rewards, right? You did mention there's a lot of gold up for grabs. There's going to be 9,000 gold for the main contributor to each faction. There's going to be also 3,500 gold for second and third highest contributors for their faction. And then, as Chosen mentioned, for participating in the test, you'll be entered into additional raffle with multiple 1,700 gold prizes up for grabs. But you have to fill out the feedback form that will be sent to you after the playtest is ended. And that playtest will run from 1,500 UTC to 1,700 UTC tomorrow.
Very excited for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've been looking forward to this update for a very long time, not just the last 4 months where we've been waiting, since the last update. We've been waiting for over a couple of years now, Robin, for some update to faction warfare. We spent a lot of time gathering feedback from players during I think it was 2 years ago, during a push to really make the first changes to faction warfare. SBI went all in. They brought in outside developers. They spent a long time learning about faction warfare and what players wanted from it conceptually, and they went from the ground up and they completely rebuilt this thing. It's not just a couple of tweaks, Rob, into the system. It's all new. It's very, very different than it was.
It is indeed. Obviously, the dev talk, doesn't cover everything, but we're gonna know and play everything tomorrow. Obviously, when the update goes onto staging server, full patch notes are going to be available. We're going to be doing a lot of reading, Chosen. A lot of reading.
Yeah, that's gonna happen sometimes. A lot of reading.
Yep. Yeah, but looking forward to it. Looking forward to being able to see everything that the development team's been cooking up over the last half a year or so that they've been working on this content update, and seeing what the players think, seeing what it plays like within the players' hands as well. Seeing the feedback come in. We're still 5 weeks away from launch day next month, so it's the 24th of November that it's launching. It's a lot of time, to get that feedback implemented, make those changes to, what the players are telling the devs what they like, what they don't like, what could be changed here and there. So yeah, we'll wait and see, but I am looking forward to it.
I am too. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with the update and the test specifically tomorrow, because we're not just getting the faction warfare update. We're on this test. We are actually getting the update is going on to the test server. So we're going to be able to look at everything. We're going to be able to read the patch notes. We're going to be able to look through everything. We're going to start combing through everything. So like Robin says, lots of reading, but also lots of time on the test server showing you guys stuff, showing you cool stuff that we might not have known was there.
Yeah, answering a lot of the questions that the players and we had from watching the dev talk as well, right? Like a lot of questions were raised, how is this going to work? What is this going to do? How are they addressing, some of the concerns that players had for many years with the current system of faction warfare, right? So yeah, it's going to be a big day tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of us here on AOTV as well. We're going to be here streaming the event from 1,500 UTC. That, I believe, means that we won't be here for the Asia War Report.
No,
or are we?
No,
we're
not tomorrow.
Okay.
Like it was going to be too hard to pull off going from Albion Asia right into the test, because we're probably going to have to be there 20 to 30 minutes early, setting things up before the show goes live.
Yeah. Alrighty. So no Asia War Report tomorrow. We'll be covering everything playtest related for faction warfare here on the channel. We'll be giving away prizes as well here, premium codes and the like. So that will be a thing tomorrow. So make sure you're following the channel to be notified when we go live. But right now, I am just bouncing around. Maverick has found himself back in Limhurst Portal. And I think it may be a daily show angle here completely shows it.
Mm,
Just on a wee 15-minute delay.
mm. Has happened sometimes, Robin.
It does. It does. Well, let's prep ourselves for that. I think we can, load up the dev talk, get that played,
Sure. I mean,
and then we can come back and we can, talk about things, post some things out of it that we are interested in and want to talk about, and go from there.
sounds good. Let's get that queued up. We'll watch again, make sure everybody's on the same page. There's some pretty good stuff in there, and then we will go through it. And while it's playing, I'm going to keep looking around, see if we can't find some content in the background. Maybe we'll still show a little bit of fights if we do find some. But let's queue that up, Ogle. Let us know when you're ready. All right, let's do it.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another Albion Online Dev Talk. Today, we're taking a first glance at the next major content update, Realm Divided, which we plan to release November 24th. This update marks a major step forward for Albion Online, as we revisit one of the game's most iconic features, faction warfare. It's the heartbeat of the Royal Continent, where city pride, open-world combat, and large-scale strategy collide. For many players, faction warfare represents their first true taste of Albion's living, breathing PvP. Over the years, the system has given rise to incredible stories and rivalries, but it's also shown us its limitations. Some of its best ideas didn't reach their full potential, fights felt too scattered, travel times too long, and opportunities for spontaneous PvP were too rare. So with the Realm Divided update, we're expanding on the systems that already exist to deepen the faction warfare experience, to make it more strategic, more connected, and more alive than ever before. When we set out to rework faction warfare, our goal wasn't just to adjust some of its systems. We wanted to rethink how it plays and feels as a whole. It should feel like an active conflict that ties together every part of Albion's world: the economy, travel, strategy, and combat. It should be the bridge between casual and large-scale PvP, a place where every player can make a meaningful impact regardless of their guild, gear, or level of experience. At the heart of the update lies a revamp of the faction warfare territorial mechanics. The previous frontline system always sounded ambitious, promising large-scale warfare and evolving battle lines. In practice, it didn't quite deliver. Battles were too fragmented, objectives often lacked purpose, and meaningful PvP encounters were rare. With Realm Divided, we're expanding on these mechanics to create more meaningful conflicts, control the flow of the battle to generate more fights, and provide more dynamic and interesting objectives. The new province system is the foundation of this transformation. The Royal Continent is now divided into distinct provinces, each made up of several connected regions, creating clear frontiers between factions and a strong sense of territorial identity. They reorganize the old front lines with a structured system of rotating territorial wars that make every battle feel connected and consequential. Each province becomes a distinct theater of war, clearly signaling where the action is taking place and drawing players together into focused, large-scale conflicts. The result is a battlefield that feels alive and strategically rich, where every attack and defense carries weight for the overall campaign. Within each province stands a faction fortress, a massive stronghold that serves as the ultimate objective for control of the area. These faction fortresses bring the excitement of the territory fortification gameplay to faction warfare, which was previously only available for high-end guilds in the Outlands, giving everyone the chance to experience large-scale sieges. Capturing and defending these locations feeds directly into the larger war effort, pushing the front lines forward or repelling the attacker, and giving every victory and defeat lasting weight. This creates an ongoing campaign that evolves naturally, giving the war a real sense of momentum and narrative. We're incredibly excited for you to experience these changes yourself and have a chance to give feedback. That's why we're inviting you all to a Faction Warfare playtest on the public staging server on October 17th. Your feedback will help shape how these systems evolve before the full launch in November. You can check out the article linked in the description for all the playtest details, including what kind of rewards you can get for participating. This is just the start of our deep dive into Albion's next era of Faction Warfare. In the coming weeks, we'll release further dev talks taking you through the journey of a player interacting with the full new gameplay loop, exploring each part of the rework in more detail in the process. In those videos, we'll cover the new ways of getting to the front lines, the new activities that make the provinces feel alive, and finally the epic siege of a fortress battle. So stay tuned, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the battlefield.
We have hopped over to Hey Baragi. In the meantime, after watching that dev talk, we did continue to look for some content. And it does appear that we might get a little bit of action here with MVP and Meerkat's Assemble, Robin. So we're going to check this out quick, see if something comes from this. And if it doesn't, then we'll head back over and talk about that dev talk and the Realm Divided.
Yes, it does look like we're going to get some action here as Fuck You has decided to raise a banner. They also have a hideout under construction here. So it's just been placed as it's in phase 1. So MVP fighting for their territory homeland here in Timberslope Grove. It is owned by Freaky Fools. They do have their HQ here. They also own the territory. So a bit of territory beef unfolding here between these forces. It should be a good fight. 38 disarray debuff here for MVP. And over on the other side with Fuck You, we're going to be on a level 41. So big numbers, but near even.
Right, first engagements here in the choke. Not a lot happening right off the bat, but we're still in the feeling out phase.
Yeah, it's that Diddy dance phase, you know, who's going to make the first major move here. Also, do MVP have siege hammers to destroy the hideout under construction? Is that going to be a major focus there for them? Obviously, Fuck You needs to keep MVP busy here if they don't want their hideout whacked. Remember, you know, under construction, those things take about 60 seconds of uncontested hammering to destroy, so they go down super quick. So they need to be careful about that.
Just still this early, like, back and forth, Robin, just feeling each other out, both trying to find a probably a gap or wait for a bit of a lull in the rotations where they feel like they can strike in. Looks like Fuck You's trying to make that opening so their opponents can come through to the other side of this gap and then collapse on them, but they're not being patient enough for that, Robin. They made the C, but then they collapsed it very, very quickly.
They did, and now we're back at like that bait phase where I don't think MVP are stupid enough to take the bait here. We'll see. I mean, shallow engagements like this are just A-okay. They're going to find 2 kills here onto those 2 frontline tanks. We're going to have to restalk Hey Baragi here as we did get kicked off. But yeah, it's a potential misplay if MVP push it. It's the same thing for Fuck You as well, right? If they push it, it could be a major misplay as well because they're going through a choke point. But it looks like phase 1 has been completed. It has. So the hideout under construction is now, you know, going into phase 2 for tomorrow. It's not going to be getting hammered today. All eyes on the territory raid
is taken care of then. That is safe for now. But there is that potential for a raid, correct? And that could be interesting as well.
Yeah, and MVP, all they have to do is sit inside their territory now, right? Just utilize their territory defense here.
For sure.
Just chill out.
I mean, we have plenty of time for a raid. We have 34 minutes left. That's usually more than enough to get it done.
Yep, and we already have the gate at least opened here. Shield fortification is at 0%. So, and then, well, back to the Daily Show, because fuck you's decided to leave. They're like, well, hideout's done. See you later.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Does MVP chase them down? I mean, MVP's OC'd and stuff, so I don't know if they're going to take the fight out into the open field now, or...
Maybe that's the... I mean, I'll be honest. Meerkats Assemble are pretty open to fighting anywhere. They generally are a content group. You know, they don't shy away from fighting.
Yeah, and especially, you know, when... I mean... both sides are here, right? Both sides are, you know, ready to throw hands. Why wouldn't you not throw hands? Like, unless there's like information that there's another group coming to help MVP, don't know. You know, there's obviously different factors in play.
We don't know who's holding hands with who, unfortunately, right now, Robin. It has changed so much in a very short period of time. Just who's with who. We can't keep up with it, honestly.
Indeed. Well, we're waiting for these guys to make a move here.
So far, not much movement is happening. I enjoyed that dev talk, Robin. Good to learn about the update to Faction Warfare. I mean, I wish it had a little bit more concrete info. Very brief overview, just almost like a tease. They let us know a little bit about it, but we're going to learn a lot on Friday. And it does sound like we're going to be getting more and more dev talks in the coming weeks. We only have 5 weeks to go, and I don't think we'll be getting one in the last 2 weeks. So the next 3 weeks could be jam-packed full of videos.
Yeah, I mean, the dev talk, you know, it teased quite a lot. We talked about it yesterday on the Daily Show quite a bit. You know, one of the things that players probably missed out on, because the way that they structured the dev talk didn't make much sense to me. They plugged the playtest,
Right.
you know, not at the end, but just before the end. But they had it so like key information was at the end, like some of the things that players already, you know, care about, you know, the travel feature, you know, getting to the battles faster, some of the other pieces of content. Those are things
they're going to show in future dev talks, Robin.
I know, but they needed to have that segment prior to advertising the playtest, because as soon as they start talking about that, most players
think it's over.
Click off, yeah. And you actually saw, I think you see it in some of the comments on the YouTube channel, where players are like, why didn't they mention about, you know, long travel times and what they're going to do there? It's like, they did right at the very end of the video. You got to watch it all, guys. But yeah, I digress. But we do have Fuck You coming back towards the fight here, albeit not all the way, but they are coming some way towards MVP. So it may kick off here any second now.
They're at least in the zone, and they're within striking distance. You could wander over there and throw some skills.
You could, yes. Looks like there's a battle of the rats happening over there. Obviously, we do have a smuggler's den in zone, so that means the rats can easily re-gear and come back out to play. Some of the bomb squads and stuff like that in low tier gear will utilize that to their advantage. Fuck You now moving back to the northwestern door. But yeah, faction warfare.
Just moved out of Rift Wave range, Robin.
It's not that far, not anymore. Polehammer maybe. But yeah, I mean, tomorrow's the big day. Like we keep mentioning, it's going to answer everything. It's going to go over everything. We get to have hands on. We get to play it. We get to see how it works, how it flows. We saw, like in the dev talk, like we highlighted yesterday during the daily show, those golden chests that we saw on the world map. What are they? We'll find out tomorrow. And I think the biggest thing for me is seeing the time frame, like the time investment needed from players to, you know, build up enough momentum to then engage a fortress. Like, how does it interact with the bandit event as well? What are the rewards going to be? Are we getting, you know, better rewards? Are rewards getting reworked? You know, do we have any special vanity pieces coming in? Like, things like that. Like, I would love, and I've said it before, Shozen, I would love to have a vanity piece for the top players of the faction warfare for each city, like a
one
king
that
and
is
a
just
queen.
temporary one for only as long as you hold the position.
Yes.
Maybe reward it for a week at a time,
Mm-hmm.
so that you don't wake up and go, oh, it's gone.
And then
I don't want to have
gotta
to
go
stay
back to
logged in.
faction,
Yeah.
go get it again. But yeah, like things like that, I would love, right? It drives players to keep engaging with the content. And you get to walk around. Like, imagine you are the king of Limhurst, and your vanity is like a thorn tree themed crown, and you have like green glowing VFX coming off of you, and you got your big cloak or something like that coming down, and everybody knows, because as soon as they look at you, that you are, you know, the king of Limhurst, because you're putting in the effort to, you know, fight for your city, defend your city in faction warfare. That to me is what I would love. Are we getting that? I don't know. I did suggest it, so I don't know, maybe, but I doubt it. There's a lot of things I suggest, Chosen, like dragons. Still haven't got dragons.
Robin.
Kill streak dragon. Still haven't got a dragon. Kill streak.
Again, if we do dragons, the only way I want to see a dragon, if it's an entire zone, is the dragon, and you go into like the dragon's den and you fight against a wall of dragon, like some giant boss from Contra. Like, that's what I would love to see from a dragon, a giant freaking boss, not something that turns around and has some weird tail that flips back and forth.
Yeah, it's gotta be big. It's gotta be bold. It's gotta be a dragon. Gotta be. And then you can bring in the dragon mount that is super duper duper rare, that you have to raise from an egg.
No dragon. Stop the dragon. Okay, now you're getting one dragon. I'll give you one dragon. Final boss down at the bottom of the depths. Not the depths, but like, you know, the hole in the ground where everybody goes to fight. We call it hell. Yeah.
Yes. They don't have dragons in hell, though.
Why do you think it's hell? Because the dragon is there and he's breathing a lot. It's making it hot. He needs a hot place. In our hell, I don't think is like hell. I think it's like, you know, just a hot place with demons. I don't think it's a punishment place. You get a lot of rewards down there, man. I'm just saying. You can come back out. Like, there's no boss in hell. Like, come on.
Well, there it is.
No, he's not a boss.
Depends who you ask. But yeah, I mean, completely off topic there. God knows where we went with that one.
We went to Hellgates, Robin. We were talking about Hellgates. It was on topic.
Yeah. Don't be mentioning no orange zone Hellgates, though. Oh, boy. People didn't like that one. But we do have Maverick on the move, and MVP are right behind them. So maybe they're setting up a fight for Shale Heap Steep. In Shale Heap Steep, shall I say? Not for it, but in it. We'll see. So if you wanted to switch to Maverick, at least for now, it looks like they are dismounting here. And MVP are just behind them, coming in via the zone northeast. So we should have something here in a wee minute.
I've been keeping an eye on MVP and Hey Baragi. Those guys are on the move. I really hope we get some content between these two groups. Both very good. Both very good. I give a slight advantage to the Flying Dutchman.
Yes. The lag check coming in here. So they are getting ready. This is going to be a fight. Yeah, I mean, faction warfare content, the stepping stone, you know, it gotta keep driving that into people. It's a stepping stone system. You know, yes, it's in the royal zone. Yes, clearly we hear you guys that live in the Outlands. You guys want new content for your, you know, medium-sized content to large-scale content. We get that. But the stepping stones need to work for the newer players that come into the game, you know, to figure out, okay, there is large-scale PvP. Okay, I really like this. And I've been playing Faction Warfare for like a month now. I want to go to the next step. And that next step is then either, you know, Red Zone Faux Loot faction. And then after that, it's the Black Zone. And it's guild warfare. It's territory attacks. It's castle sieging. It's what we're watching right here. And making sure that stepping stone is actually, you know, something that players can step on and not fall in the water, and, you know, actually get across the river to the end goal, which is this, getting players here. What we're watching right now in the Outlands, that needs to work, and this hopefully will address some of those, you know, key issues that haven't really worked over the last couple of years with faction warfare. And when faction warfare works, and it's in a good spot, the dev team can then look at, you know, the end goal of this activity line, shall we say. I'm pretty sure there's probably a special word for it in game development. But yeah, like, stepping stones, guys, stepping stones. It's
one
it's
step at a time. Getting people out there, getting people used to the concept of getting involved in these long fights, getting people used to, you know, just following directions. And, you know, we've talked about this. I expect the faction warfare discords to kick off once this starts. And they're going to get very, very popular groups of discords going once again. And people are going to find new people to play with, and new guilds are going to come out of this. New, very powerful guilds that in a year we're going to be talking about as some of the most powerful in the servers. And big hits over here onto MVP. First players going down. Pussy Duck slamming that front gate.
Yeah, my man's quacking right there. He's doing work. Interesting enough here, they are going for a, you know, a castle attack here for practice. Not in the open world. But MVP have done quite well in castles before. I will give them that. We have seen them, you know, over the last month or so do pretty well in defensive position. I don't think we've seen much of Flying Dutchman in the attacking position over the last month or so. So we'll see how they handle it. Right now, they are in, you know, the driving seat. They are the ones securing kills. They are defending every single hit that's came their way so far. Energy Shaper Beam going to get shut down. Full engagement onto him over the wall, and he does go down. That's a major part of the DPS there for MVP, getting removed already very early on. Great read from Maverick and the Flying Dutchman to get that player removed already.
Very early engagements resulting in some big deaths, I guess, right? Like, that's what you need? get the important players off the field, right?
Exactly. Regears, couple zones away here for MVP.
Very, very heavy frontline damage here. Both sides throwing lots of skills. Defenses are there though, so it's not like any of these are going to kill anybody. But they're saying we're not going to just let you stand there, I guess.
Yeah.
Make people hit buttons. That's what you got to do.
Burn
Sometimes they fail to hit Sometimes they fail to hit those buttons, Robin.
Sometimes those buttons are on cooldown and they don't realize it and then they die.
Well, that's why you got to get them on cooldown. You keep throwing those skills.
Exactly. Does look like Win here may have disconnected or got stuck in the wall. Either one. Both can happen. That has been something that I've been seeing more and more of, players getting stuck in objects, and the only thing that actually get them out is enemy force movement effects. Bit of a weird one. The dev team are looking into it, but back to the action. First gate has fallen onto the second here. The engagements keep coming, and finally we have a Flying Dutchman falling here. Great defenses for the return engagement. That blazing just chomping away at the health bars here at the front lines. Maverick activating the gig pot, trying to keep his presence felt here, but got to clear the guards in the back lines. This caused a lot of aggro on the healers. This is a very, you know, fast-paced castle fight. Normally sometimes they're very slow.
Yeah, nobody is just hanging out, just like letting people push on doors. They are pushing each other as hard as they can. I mean, we're already onto our second set of doors, which is pretty fast. But again, they're also fighting at the doors. They're not standing back, which is typically what you see in this case. It's very much the defender gives a little bit more room to the attacker on this particular set of doors. I'll say that much.
Yep.
This is very far forward from MVP.
Yeah, they are playing very, very up front at the moment. Well, here we go, another engagement coming in, and those front lines will go down. Return engagements coming out, but preemptive defensives already down there. Judicator armors, enigmatic staff, locusts, smoke bombs, the whole shebang from the Flying Dutchman will mitigate that return engagement. Just a heads up real quick, I do see it in Twitch chat. There is a bug at the moment on Twitch's side across the whole platform where drops are not working at the moment. So it's not just you, it's not just us, it's everywhere across the whole platform on Twitch. And you will be stuck at 1%.
Okay. That's not great.
It's
1%.
not.
Don't generally stay there for very long.
It's just good old Jeff letting everyone know, right? He wants everyone else to be the 1%, not just him. Good old Jeff.
Good old Jeff.
Well, things starting to pick up. The gate has fallen. Secondary gate down. One remaining. Engagement still flying. That blazing nearly taking someone out there. Close shave, forcing out the enigmatic staff. Just a constant wave of engagements coming out here. I gotta say, I mean, look at this. It's a split push here from Idle, by the way. They do have Rescue Station going through Suicide Alley on the northeastern side of our screen here. So it's going to be a two-prong attack. Good engagement coming out here. Only got a couple kills secured. Return engagement coming in will secure a couple kills onto the Flying Dutchman as well. So trades coming out for both sides. And MVP looking to flood. And this is what they do. They will just flood the whole entire attacking force right now. And this is going to get mixy. It's going to get messy. It's going to be chaotic here.
This is going to decide the fight.
And it's all Flying Dutchman that's dying
Flying
so
Dutchman
far.
are dropping fast, but here comes the turn. The duck goes wild, as does Jackets here. Lots of players going down for the guys here in the defensive position for Meerkats Assemble and MVP. They lasted through the initial phase, and wow, Flying Dutchman may have ended up coming out ahead in that after the second wave. Not the third
so
wave.
many people of MVP still inside the castle, out of position. Look on the southeast side of your screen. There's players deep in the back lines of the Flying Dutchman right now, but all these players of MVP that are not coming outside of the castle because they're scared to die will make sure that MVP lose this castle fight.
Everybody's
scared. Can't be scared of losing pixels. It's a video game. Just send it. Believe in your Zerg. Believe in the person standing next to you. It is a Zerg versus Zerg. You gotta trust your Zerg. You gotta trust the person next to you to keep you alive. And unfortunately for MVP, it doesn't look like that trust is there. And Maverick will keep swinging. And MVP, they're wandering out the western side. Do they completely bail? That is the question. It does look like,
yeah,
that's going to be GG.
I mean, good engagement though in that choke. Fun engagement to view. Not necessarily well executed by some of the guys on the backside.
Yeah, it was a little bit rough there. A little bit rough. Well, that will be that for this fight. I'm going to go quickly check some of the castles. We are coming towards the top of the hour here. I'm wondering if there's going to be a little bit of action elsewhere. Some of the castles that actually had, you know, a castle chest spawn in them. We do have action over in Runelvane Sink. I'll find us a name. All right. Of course, their shot caller has, you know, a phone number in their name, so give me a second. I think that is correct. I think he just died. Did he? He literally just died. And GG has been called, and... Right, well, back to checking the other castles.
I mean, hey, Robin, sometimes it's like that. You know, you go to find some content and it doesn't last very long. It's in, it's out, it's gone, it's done and over with before you even get to finish typing the dude's name and pressing enter. Happens.
In, out, shake it all about. Looking at the castle spawns, it is rough here if you're living in Bridgewatch and Lyndhurst. Barren Wasteland. Ooh, a legendary castle in Drownfield Force. Is this getting pulled over? There's a big blob here. And they're all the same. That's Sunset. 43 Disarray debuff chilling here. With Sunset in Drownfield Force, a legendary castle. No fight happening though, unfortunately. Some of the other castles.
Just bouncing around as well here through our little list. Hopefully get one more bit of action, but we can, Robin, if we don't get anything on this, we can go ahead and just finish talking about that chat. We didn't do it.
We didn't. We did not. And it does look like there's a little bit of action in Battleberry Plain. Let me find a Le Chatelier. Hopefully he doesn't die after I type their name. Who is your shot caller? That is the question. I think that they have a clump maker here. This is interesting. I'll have to go for the other side. God, what is it with these names? I'm hoping this is eyes and nothing else. Because if it is, I don't know what to tell you. All right, it is spelled correctly. Thank God. It's going to be the Arc Alliance here, fighting against the Good Alliance. Just Sunny Dolls here in defense over this green castle. There's another blob that just appeared outside, and Arc noticed it as well. It's going to be a three-way battle here in Battleberry Plain. Waku has showed up as well. Oh, I'm going to have to restalk our POV. Well, it's turned into a three-way, and that can only mean one thing. Everyone stands away from each other. Everyone looks at each other. Nobody actually casts spells on each other. Yep. What are we going to do here, boys?
Well, I don't know what we're going to do here, Robin, but tomorrow we're going to do a lot of fun things. Early in the day, we have that faction warfare fight that we're going to be doing on the test server. Going to show off the new content right away. And then later in the day, Bogle and I are going to give a full history of Albion TV and tell the story of how we came to be, which is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to sharing that with everybody. A spotlight just went up and live for everybody to check out. You can go check out an article by our buddy Will Berger, who hung out with us for a while and played some Albion with us for, gosh, almost a year he was with us. He's going to probably be back here tomorrow, actually, as well, hanging out with us, playing some faction warfare as we get ready to tell the story of Albion TV.
Yes. I just looked at it. You know, we submitted those headshots.
So about that, I got shown a picture that has those headshots in. I think the Albion TV logo might get replaced with that as they do it, because I have that image, the one that I showed you. It's in our...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they use that image on the launcher? Let me look. It's not on the launcher, not yet. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I just looked at it. There's no headshot.
Okay, hold on. I'm sending it in now. First complaint.
Yeah, well. Do you want to go there? Well, over here, Arc are not having a good time as they lose 5 players there on our western side while we were yapping. But the fight is engaging outside the castle. But there is going to be that other blob that's rotating around, and Arc realize that they're going to be put as the meat of the sandwich if that other blob comes to the fight. But it's zoning out southeast, so doesn't look like it. Now, if Arc have what it takes here to take on Reject Snow, we have seen Reject Snow quite a bit, and Arc are pressing boots and fleeing as
they're already gone.
A bunch of their members didn't get the memo and have died, as we can see via the kill feed.
All I did was go and type for like 10 seconds, Robin, and the next thing I know, this fight is over.
Yeah, that will be the end of our content here for castles. Nothing else happening.
Well, I mean, we have a lot happening later today.
We do indeed. 1800 UTC will be back. Wait, do we have a show in between? I can never keep up. Wait, it's Thursday today. No, thinking
Thursday. I don't think so. Mel's at school, as far as I know. I have not seen any notifications saying we're going to do one, but it's a interesting window. Anything can happen in this window for the next 2 months. This is going to be a weird window. There's going to be shows in there, things you didn't expect, probably a lot of PvP shows over the next, until the end of the year. and I'm not really sure, how to tell you, Robin. It's gonna be some just pop up, the pop-up slot.
Pop-up slot.
Yeah, you never know when
Alrighty.
you're gonna get free premium during this slot. Could happen. They'll all be
The audience
live.
better
So
be
they'll all, yeah.
following the channel to be notified when we go live then.
Mhm.
But we will be back later on this evening, though, at 1800 UTC for the European War Report. Then after that, we do have the Q&A show where Lupac, Chosen, and Bogle yaps about everything, answers your questions if you have them from chat, the whole shebang. It's always a good time. And then after that, it is the PvP show as well. And then obviously tomorrow's the big day. We'll be here at 1500 UTC, so no Asia War Report tomorrow, but we'll be here at 1500 UTC. So literally right now, but tomorrow, we'll be here covering the faction warfare playtest on the staging server or the test server, whatever you want to call it. Going and showing off the brand new content update that will be going on to the live game next month. But our first look and partaking in that test, and you, the players, even if you don't have a European server account, can come on over and join in as well and potentially win some gold for participating and filling out the feedback form. We'll be talking all about that tomorrow, though, letting you guys know how to, get in onto the playtest, how to, participate, etc. But we'll also be here giving away premium codes tomorrow throughout that 2-hour long show. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a good time. So yeah, that's going to be it though for today's Asia Server War Report.
Question, Robin, before we go.
Yes.
Are you gonna call for us tomorrow?
No.
You be our shot caller?
Hell no.
But you have the most experience doing ZVZs.
No, Lupac has the most experience shot calling.
Shot calling, yeah, but I mean,
He's led faction warfare.
yeah,
Discords
he
before.
has, but
I'm not shot calling for you guys because there's a
What's
side of
Jason
me
doing?
that comes out when people don't listen to what I'm telling them to do, and then it goes downhill and it'll go down quickly. Bogle will start crying. Chosen to fire me. It's gonna be a bad time if I shot call. It's not happening. It's not. We're not doing it. We'll
All right.
figure it out tomorrow. Lupac's going to be shot calling. That's a done deal. But yeah, we'll see how it goes tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. But yeah, from us here on the Asia War Report, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you at 1800 UTC later on this evening. But until then, wherever you are in the world, have a glorious morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody. Adios.
See you soon.